What's going on, champs and chambettes? It's FireMonkey here, and in today's YouTube video, we have to talk about the magical world of simulcasting. If you're someone who actually watched my stream last night, you may have noticed that we are live on both YouTube and Twitch at the exact same time, talking about the exact same content, using both chats to kind of, talk about and go off of. So, sometimes I was talking to YouTube chat, sometimes I was talking to Twitch chat, and it was a very interesting experience to actually go down because of the recent changes by Twitch to allow simulcasting to be a thing, where you can just go ahead and go live on both platforms as an affiliate, a partner, and everything else, assuming that you're not one of the very few people who actually have an exclusivity contract with Twitch. Of course, if you're an affiliate or you're not partnered at all with Twitch, or you're a normal partner not getting like a special ad revenue benefit or anything, you're going to be someone who doesn't have to worry about an exclusivity contract, meaning that now you're able to stream on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time, as well as Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, wherever else you really want to go live. Now, I actually managed to do this using a program, or I guess a plugin for normal OBS called Multiple Output by Sorayuki over on, like Reddit, Twitter, GitHub, wherever else. I don't really know where you're able to find them at, but they're on some different platforms, right? And it was a very interesting experience trying to get that set up originally, because you may have noticed some other content creators trying to simulcast, such as Moist Critical, and having some issues getting the whole entire thing set up, having YouTube being very laggy, or whatever else. Now, using my actual extension or whatever for OBS, I did notice a little bit of a bug here and there, where if I went live using the main recording software, streaming software of YouTube, and then I broadcasted that live stream to Twitch, Twitch would be audio only. There would not be any video, and if you're someone who was watching on a computer, it would just not show anything at all, right? You couldn't hear me, you couldn't see me, it was just completely broken, but I'm able to actually stream both of them as long as I make Twitch the priority, streaming platform, and then I make YouTube a secondary one. And with YouTube as a secondary platform, it allows for a lot easier, just control of everything, because Twitch chat works fine, Twitch streaming is working fine, there's no real, drops or anything else. I assume if I play a more computer-intensive game, it might be a little bit worse of a situation, and then YouTube as well is working fine. The only difference between using this service and then using something like Restream is that this service uses your computer, so it's going to make everything, use a little bit more encoding power, it's going to use more resources on your computer, and you might not be able to play the most computer-intensive games while streaming to two platforms. There's alternatives out there, but apparently, they have some little lag issues here and there, and it takes some tinkering and getting used to before you're able to actually have the full perfect experience that you may be wanting whenever it comes to restreaming, so that regardless of where you're streaming on, it feels like the exact same experience on both platforms. So, that's something to keep in mind, something I need to experiment with a little bit more here and there, but it is something that did hold up and did work pretty well in my short little experimental testing phase where I was able to mess around with it here and there just for a tiny little bit of time. Another issue with restreaming, however, is the fact that whenever you're simulcasting, Twitch wants you to not have YouTube alerts or YouTube chat on screen or anything. They don't want to combine, because if you have any chats or anything, it should just be Twitch, so that the Twitch viewers get a quote-unquote full experience. This is something that made it so I was actually sitting here using a combined chat over on my other monitor that only I could see, but everyone else on the stream just kind of had none of those overlays, right? You had a little bit of a Twitch overlay whenever someone subscribed or whatever, and that is a little bit of a benefit to watching over on the Twitch platform, but there was no real beneficial difference between Twitch and YouTube in terms of chat, right? I couldn't combine the chats, I couldn't have them both on screen, but I had them there for my own little purpose so I could, read chat and go off of them. And speaking of chat, one of the major benefits of restreaming I've found is being able to read both of the chats, right? YouTube's going to have a little bit of a lower audience, I've noticed, at least on my streams, whereas Twitch I get a little bit of a higher audience, especially with me streaming random games that is kind of out of the norm, such as Risk of Rain 2, but something I've noticed is that the people on YouTube still use chat, they still comment and everything else, and they enjoy the experience there because it has a better mobile experience, right? It's something where you're able to go there, you're able to enjoy it, watch on a TV on your phone with less issues than on Twitch, and you don't have to worry so much about Twitch ads, right? On YouTube, you may have an ad here and there, but the YouTube ad system is a lot nicer than what you have over on Twitch, which leads to a better experience for both worlds, right? If you're someone who doesn't like Twitch, but you still want to watch the live streams, go to YouTube. If you're someone who likes Twitch and you want to watch the live streams, go ahead, watch on Twitch, support me over there, do all that type of stuff. It doesn't matter where you watch, it just feels like a better overall community experience, and having combined chats make everything feel so much more active. Of course, from time to time, you'll have someone switching between one chat to the other, and sometimes you can tell it based on their username, but it isn't that big of a concern, right? It's usually just them being like, hey, this is cool, I can go to both platforms, and for the most part, it just allows you to have more chat to interact with and feed off of, because you're looking at there and you're like, okay, Twitch chat kind of died down, no one's really asking questions or talking about anything right now, nothing can really beat off of there, but then you look over to YouTube, and it's like, okay, you know, I can beat off of this comment, I can go ahead and continue onwards, because they went ahead and asked, like, oh, hey, you know, what do you think about insert thing here? And I think overall, in terms of simulcasting, it's definitely an odd thing, right? It definitely takes some getting used to. It feels so cluttered at first when you're just trying to do a random stream unprompted, trying to prepare everything, but once you get into the hang of it, it definitely is a beneficial experience for both the people on YouTube, both the people on Twitch, and wherever other your platforms you're actually streaming on. And I definitely feel that YouTube isn't going to implement anything where it's like, no, you're not allowed to do this, because no one's really under a contract with YouTube. It's like the 1% of people, actually the 0.1% of people who are actually under that exclusive contract with YouTube, where they're exclusive to only YouTube and they can't stream on Twitch or whatever else. But for most of us like me and you, we are completely fine to do this, and I really doubt they'll do any clause changes that are like, no, you are not allowed to do this anymore, when they've been perfectly fine with it before, right? Just because Twitch is making a good change doesn't mean YouTube will counteract it with a bad change, because that would just give them bad publicity. So in my honest opinion, I think that Twitch having multi-streaming and allowing simulcasting and all that type of stuff is a really, really good thing. I think it's going to be very beneficial for some creators such as myself, because it makes a live stream more engaging, right? There's more to do instead of just sitting there like, chat isn't really going well. I don't know what to do here. My chat is not talking, therefore I have nothing to talk about. It's like you have so many different chats and so many different areas to just kind of go off of, and allows for you to, for example, have easy VODs, right? Whenever a stream's done, if they don't want to watch on Twitch, they can get the VOD right there on YouTube. If someone needs to rewind the stream, they can go over to YouTube. If someone likes Twitch and they want to subscribe to you or support you on multiple platforms, they can just go ahead and do that. It just feels like there's so many benefits you're getting. It's like the best of both worlds, because you literally are having both worlds at your fingertip that you're able to take advantage of and kind of bounce off of and everything. And it'll be interesting to see how it evolves from these early days, because of course right now is going to be a vague early day time when no one truly knows how efficient things are going to be, and things are probably going to get better over time, you know, better just quality, you know, everything's going to end up being more beneficial and everything as time goes on, and there'll be more plugins and everything made. Rules will be elaborated on so people know what they can and can't do, if they can have a YouTube chat on their stream at all. And I definitely think that overall simulcasting is definitely going to be something a lot more people do going forwards, because if you can have your content on multiple platforms, earn more money that way by, you know, just showing the same thing you're showing on YouTube to the same people on Twitch at the same time, and you're able to just basically have your cake and eat it too, there's no real bad reason to not do it, right? You're just getting benefits nonstop over and over again for just being live, right? So it just, at the end of the day, seems like nothing but a good change that is just too far into its early days where no one knows how to 100% accurately do all the changes they need to do. But of course, with that said, going forwards, I will be live on YouTube and Twitch at the same time whenever I go live, right? On YouTube, you'll still have the thumbnail, custom title, and everything, but we will have a lot more synergy in terms of titles, so Twitch will have the same title as what I have on YouTube, and I will be interacting with both chats and everything. It might be a little weird as we get used to it in the early days, but hopefully as time goes on and as this program and everything else gets better and more beneficial and less computer intensive, I can go live on more platforms and continue to grow the loving audience I have now over on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, wherever else, because there really is nothing but good to come out of these changes, right? I am a firm believer that simulcasting is a massive benefit, and anyone out there who's trying to grow their following should try at least getting into simulcasting, you know, trying different things, making sure it's at least a quality experience, right? Because if your YouTube stream is absolutely abysmal or your Twitch stream is abysmal and people can't watch it on there, and they're basically watching on one other platform, that's not simulcasting, right? That's just you having a terrible stream experience going on. As long as all those little things get worked out and people are able to simulcast seamlessly on multiple platforms, I 100% recommend it. I think that there's no downside to doing it. All you need is programs in order to actually combine different chats here and there, and to make sure everything's going to work well so you're not leaving one community out, while also not overlaying too many things on your stream screen to cause, you know, issues with Twitch where they're like, okay, your chats combined, you know, that's going to get you into Slammer, no more Twitch stream for you at all. You know, it's definitely going to be an experimental phase. But I'm super excited for the future of simulcasting and all that type of stuff on Twitch and YouTube. I've already seen a lot of people being super hyped to see me on Twitch. I've seen some people being hyped to see me still on YouTube, and it is definitely something I want to do in the future, right? And one thing I've also noticed is I can simulcast on 2 YouTube channels at once while also being on Twitch, meaning if I wanted to, I could go live on this channel, on the Fortnite channel, over on Twitch as well, and continue to kind of combine an audience through all those places, being like, hey guys, who didn't know I was streaming on these other platforms but watched this channel, I'm also live over here. Go follow me there if you want to keep up to date with everything going on here. And it definitely is a way to continue growing and creating more and more of a community spread across multiple platforms instead of being related to just simply one specific platform. Now, in the description down below, I will link 2 of the things I use for simulcasting, being the plugin I actually use on OBS and the thing I use to combine chat. Keep in mind, when I combine chat, it's only on my monitor. I'm the only one who can see the combined chat, but it does allow me to see all the emojis and everything else, you know, all my extensions and everything in a nice, neat format that allows me to continue chatting with all different areas, while at the same time being able to see which platform it's coming from with little channel icons, whether it's YouTube or Twitch. And hopefully this video could have given you my thoughts on the whole entire simulcasting thing, and hopefully get you guys generated into the whole entire land of trying to simulcast yourself, and allow you to continue growing your audience along with everything. In my personal opinion, I think there's no downside to simulcasting, right? The only downside could be maybe someone's going to like ban evade, someone you banned on Twitch is going to come over to YouTube or vice versa, but even with that happening, just ignore the comment, right? You know, you can have moderators on most platforms, you know, moderators going around being like, okay, we need to remove this message, we need to remove that. There's a lot of ways to make sure that those type of mishaps don't really affect your stream or anything, and as long as you're making quality content, it's going to work well. It's just something where, you know, people get more of a preference and more of a user input regarding which platform they themselves would prefer to watch you on. So with that said, hope you champs and champions enjoyed today's video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and I will catch you guys a little bit live, or I guess live a little bit later. Peace out.